Alright, well, I'm still following this area where the overgrown field, this used to be a farm field over here, that they have let go back to growing, trees and stuff. They're not farming it anymore. And this is the zone where this farm field, this old farm field, meets the woods, the forest that has been here for years. Anyway, this is one of the areas. There's a fence that runs down through here where the two border, but in several places the fence is gone. And here's one of them. And it's obvious that the four-wheelers have used this as an access point into the woods. It starts to be a four-wheeler trail right here. And he can't really go back this way. There's no trail that continues back that way. As you can see, that is thick growth. Just take a look around here a little bit while we're here. I love to get these areas where shadow sits back in there. That's a great place for them to sit and hide. Anyway, so I'm just following this area where the two different sections meet. First of all, those pine trees are just great habitat. If you were wanting to bed down and make beds for the night, that stuff you just can't beat it. You got pine straw everywhere for insulation. The pines block all the wind. It's just a great place to hide for whatever kind of critter you are. Anyway, right here where the two meet, you got this four-wheeler trail coming in. As you can see, there's my trusty bucket. I carry that with me everywhere. That's my seat, my carry-all. Got my treats in there, my drinks in there. Anyway, what's really interesting is any of you that have watched my other video know that I've shown you a tree gate over in my other area that blocks off access to the four-wheelers that run all back through there. There's not near as many four-wheeler trails back in this area of woods anyway, but there are a few. And right up here, first of all, the stuff, all the brush around here just gets really thick. So there's really nowhere for that four-wheeler to go but to follow this area where the transition zone, where this old field meets the old growth. And there actually is a four-wheeler trail right over there. But evidently these four-wheelers at some point tried to come back in here. And I just find this really interesting, that you've got this real similar type of situation here. You've got a tree that is just bizarre looking. This tree is alive. This is not a dead tree. This tree is living, and it just serves. As you can see up here at the top, it's starting to bush out, and all the leaves are coming back on it. But it's real similar to the tree gate. You got a tree that has been knocked over, whatever you want to say. Somehow or another, this tree has been pushed over, and it blocks off access to this four-wheeler path, that and the natural growth. And it's still growing. This is just, this is just bizarre looking. I like it when I see where the granite surfaces out around here. This whole area is underlain with granite, which is another thing that other researchers have discovered, that Sasquatch areas tend to be in granitic or limestone areas, and there's theories about how that has to do with sulfur and phosphorus, or not sulfur, phosphorus. Anyway, I won't get into that right now. It's a pretty long thing. I've got other articles on my page about that. But I just find it really interesting. Here we go again with one of these bizarre trees. You can see most of this root ball is up out of the ground, but it's still down there growing in the ground, and the tree's still growing. And it's been pushed over, and then you got all these other knockdowns over here anyway, too. So, you come up in here, and the four-wheeler trail that we have been following pretty much just stops right there. They gave up. So we'll see what's up here ahead. Maybe we're getting into an area, a nesting area. That's what the tree gate serves. to do over in the other area, and it blocks off a nesting area. And it's getting really thick back in here too, so that's another thing you look for when you're looking for nesting areas. Really thick growth. Tree fall downs and bends, and now I hadn't really paid much attention to them until I started finding them, but now I look for these kind of weird tree formations. Okay, well, I'll video up here a little bit further so you don't have to endure my shaky hand.